All right, everybody, welcome to the Crazy Headaches podcast. This is it. We are finally on video. After craziness and getting everything set up. Now, granted, I did want to have multiple camera angles for this one, but I dropped the ball, and I went to set up the other camera, and the battery was completely exhausted to the point that even with it plugged into the wall, it's like, no, bro, we're not doing this. So that's where we're at, but we at least have this camera view where you can see. I even straightened my beard for this, so all of you could have at least a better view than what it was. So, other than that, how are you guys doing? It's Sunday. We're recording this one a little in the middle of crunch time to get it ready for you guys tomorrow. But all in all,
Michael showed up.
And Michael showed up. We got Michael
here, y'all.
he is a slight slacker, but we got. Luckily, he did have a good excuse for everything, so. We'll give him that.
Ish.
Yeah. Slacker.
So, Michael, how was your week?
Man, my week was good. My weekend was crazy.
Yeah.
My weekend was crazy. Well, it wasn't too crazy. I had a date Friday night.
Oh, boy.
That went well. She just left today before the podcast.
Huh.
It was a 2-day date.
It wasn't nothing crazy. Nothing what you're thinking. Just hanging out. But then today was just hectic.
Yeah.
Yesterday, actually, we went to Jungle Adventures. We got to see a bunch of gators. I took my son.
Nice.
That was fun. But then today was just chaos. So we saw a post last night from Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a huge sensation now. God is using him to do amazing things. And at 10 o'clock, we saw it last night. I do my normal church thing every Sunday. And I'm like, I had to see this post for a reason. Like, he's going to be in Orlando today. We're driving to Orlando. We're getting up early. We're going to drive to Orlando. We show up. It was supposed to start at 10:30, so we show up at 9 because we know he's like a huge thing right now in the Christian world, and the line is just wrapped all the way around the corner. It's crazy. We're walking, and the line never stops. And this is an hour and a half before it's even supposed to start. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna wait it out. We waited out. We're inching close. They come and they say, hey, from here on, no one's going to get in.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to have faith. We're going to get in. We're going to get in. So they're like, the line just keeps going and going. Literally, it must have been 20 people in front of us. They closed the doors and said, that's it. Nothing else. So we heard them live on the way home, but it was amazing.
Well, you were there with so many people of faith.
Right.
So
we were all singing in line, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's cool.
But that was a headache.
Waiting in line at Universal for the ride, and the second you get up, they say, it broke down. Sorry, y'all. I would be so upset.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
My lady has to go back. So she has to go back tonight to a concert at the Kia Center. So she's like, man, I had to do this twice. So that was her crazy headache.
Oh, wow. That does sound like a crazy headache. Yeah.
Lisa, what about you?
Had a good week. Met some pretty interesting people that we're going to be connecting with for the business, and another podcast that I'm interested in delving into and learning about. And then we had the grandbaby this weekend, and one of our crazy headaches is he is getting into the toddler stage.
The demon stage.
Mind you, this child would act up at his mom's house, but when he would come to Lala's house, he was always good. Always. And Saturday, he would just, for no reason, like if you said the sky was purple, he would just all of a sudden flop down on the ground and start screaming. And Paul and I were just looking, we're like, oh my gosh, where did our grandbaby go?
Gone.
And so the dogs would calm him down. But he had probably about 4 or 5 meltdowns. But then he got a little better. So it was good. We just had to keep him outside and keep him occupied. He's just going through those I guess all the emotions are starting to hit him and he doesn't know how to deal with them, you know. So Grayson and Ryan are really good with him. They're like very soft spoken with him. Whereas I'm a little more, I'm like, Addie, if you do that one more time, I'm taking it away from you.
So like you are with us at work.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm good, but I'm looking at him. I give him that look, and he was playing with his water table, and he kept moving the water out and like getting water everywhere. We changed him like several times, and I told him, and then he started drinking the water. Well, he had soap in the water, so I don't want him drinking the water. And I told him, I said, Addie, stop drinking the water. He kept doing it. He's looking at me. I said, Addie, if you do not stop drinking that water, I'm taking that away from you. He looks at me, and I was like, okay, let Lala show you.
Has to do it.
Lala means business. So I picked it up, and I said, no more waterfall. He calls it waterfall, waterfall. I said, no more waterfall.
Now, if he's anything like my youngest son, that phase doesn't go away. At least it hasn't for Daniel yet. But he's at that line where he's like, oh, I can start pushing boundaries and see how far I can take this. And normally, they can push those boundaries a lot further with the grandparents than they can with the parents. Especially, like, what drives me insane is, like, when my mother has my kids, they will do things that when I was their age, if I did that, I would have been glued to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's fine, it's whatever. Who is this person and what did they do with my parents? Like,
being a grandparent is the best. Then the rules go out, you know.
You get to spoil them and give them back.
Yeah, because he can have whatever he wants to eat. He can, like, he'll go to that snack cabinet whenever he wants to, and he can have whatever he wants to. And he just gets whatever. And we had the best time Saturday night, though. He wanted to snuggle, so he's having a hard time with nap time and going to bed. He used to love, it's time for night, and he'd go right into the crib. Now he's saying, no night, no night. So he'll argue with himself, but then he'll cry when he goes to the bed. And Grayson was telling me, she said, now when you put him down, you're going to have to take him in there and you're going to have to say, it's quiet time. And then you stay in there and you just sit there with him and stay quiet. And then if he starts talking, you start talking really low. She said it's been taking him an hour and a half to put him to sleep. I said, no, ma'am. So I said, okay, what we're going to do snuggle time. We're going to do the tent. We got in the bed, the extra bedroom, all the dogs piled on there. We got the covers, pulled them over our head and started watching The Lion King. Lala was tickling his arm, and then we go in the tent, and we were just sitting there and playing until he fell asleep. And I'm like, okay. And then I took him and laid him in there. I said, I'm not going to.
How long did it take?
It didn't really take that long. It was like about 30 minutes of sitting there, just like.
Here you go, Grayson. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Tent and
Lion King.
And you're good.
Yeah. And then sitting there, Poe was on one side, Lala was on the other side. And he went right to sleep. I mean, he just fell over. I was like, okay, it's time to take him to bed. So we took him to bed. So he slept all night. But then he got up at 6:00, and Grayson was like, they want him to get up at 7:30, 8:00. At our house, he never gets up that late. It's always early. And the dogs were quiet. He just wakes up early.
So he knows he's at Lala's.
Yeah.
He can have fun, so he wakes up earlier. The more time he has to have fun.
It's definitely fun at Lala's because we do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. Outside, on the golf cart, playing in the dirt, playing in the sand, climbing trees, playing with the horses, feeding the duck. We could if he wants to feed the duck 20 times, we'll feed the duck 20 times. It's like
you're going to have fat ducks running around your property and not being able to fly away.
He calls them squeaks, the squirrels, he calls squeaks.
We're going to have Dunk Confit over at Lisa's house.
Yeah.
I'll go pluck them.
That duck is pretty fat, though, but he's the only one that's lasted from all the other ducks.
Yeah, you've gone through some ducks.
Probably about 12 or 13 ducks. Yeah.
That's from the coy dogs running through there, tearing
coyotes. There was a coyote. There was a bobcat. Been some other things that have killed them.
I remember the day I came over there, and I'm coming down your driveway, and Paul was on the golf cart, and he came up to me, and I just happened to look, and I was like, coyotes? I'm like, what? And he was like, what? So
Yeah.
I grabbed my center console fun toy and he grabbed his and we went to go run out. Luckily, we're smart people to make sure we know what we're looking at. And it was the neighbor from the back. His dogs had gotten out and came out through, and I was like, oh, it's a good thing we didn't smoke somebody's German Shepherd.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
geez.
too.
That would be bad.
It'd be real bad. No, my week, I mean, it was finishing up everything in here, getting the rest of the stuff moved over from the old office,
Yeah.
cluster, dealing with stuff at my house. We're in the process of, we're going to be redoing our whole yard. I mean, from irrigation all the way to new driveway, new patio in the back, and it's more of a phase of weaponized compliance for the HOA. So they want to play games, they can play games. I am Captain Petty, and I will have fun with that. So, I mean, it's everything. Hey, the only thing in the bylaws that says is the driveway has to be a minimum of 16 feet in front of the garage.
That's funny.
Well-
If you live in the HOA, comment your
Crazy
craziest
headache.
Oh yeah, yeah.
headache bylaws in
Yeah,
your HOA.
I'm not going to get too deep into that because that can definitely be a whole nother episode of HOA headaches. So please leave down in the comments if you are in an HOA or you know somebody who lives in an HOA and just some of the stupid stuff they got to deal with. I mean, we can go, that could probably be a 3-part series because there's some stuff that comes across an HOA where it's like, why is that even a rule?
And we have to deal with HOAs a lot when we're doing roofing and stuff, like when we have to submit things.
Yeah.
The Baytree has been pretty easy. The art committee lady there
Yeah,
is
no,
very
they're really
sweet
good.
and they're really good.
And honestly, it's one of those, like, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but it's definitely one of those communities where you pull on and you're going to be like, there's a bunch of Karens running this one. But honestly, it's not.
Yeah,
They're really nice people.
they're very nice. Yeah, they're very nice. So it's been good with that one. There's been some that I don't think you were here with, some that we've had to deal with.
A joy to deal with,
yeah.
to say the least.
I remember getting a ticket from the HOA back when I lived in an HOA for not having my blade cut short enough, grass blade.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like an inch off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When we first moved into the house, when the subdivision, when we lived with you, the HOA president, we were only there a couple of days, and he was walking around and he pulls up and he introduced himself and he said, "Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that there's some algae on your fence that you need to clean." And Paul walks over and he rubs the fence. He goes, "You mean the condensation right here?" It was like there was we just got there. We'd only been there a couple of days, and he's already saying something about.
Well, and there's.
But then he turned out to be one of our best customers in the subdivision. It's so crazy.
He ended up being ran out as the president with torches and pitchforks, and that's when my wife was then put in place as the HOA president, voted in by the community, and then I was put in place as architectural review, and there was other situations going on with that where then when he became our customer, I'm like, oh no. Because I remember dealing with the other situation, like this is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Ended up being the easiest
He
customer
was the
we
easiest
had.
customer. He referred us. He was wonderful. I mean, he was really wonderful to work with. We had a few in that subdivision that were very difficult to work with, but he paid us on time, made sure that we got paid.
One of the best.
He was like one of the best in the subdivision.
Blew my mind because I'm like, oh, strap in. This is going to be a bumpy ride. And then I'm like,
Worked out.
well,
Yeah.
Okay.
You just never know. People are different in different situations. That's one thing I've found, and perception and stuff sometimes is you can misconstrue a situation sometimes.
Yeah, we don't try and purposely like judge a book by a cover, but I think it's human nature. It's just kind of instinct to kind of safeguard yourself. So you're going to have that initial judgment. And, I at least always try and just push that to the back of my head. Be like, let me give this person, this situation a chance
Yeah.
before I do that. But when it starts going haywire, I pull that right back and go, "Hey, no, I knew for some reason I had that chance, but then there's other times where I can throw that out and go, I was wrong. I'll admit it."
You know, I have some times where I wonder, like, you know, people will, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but somebody will totally reinvent you. Like they have this narrative, like you look at it like you're watching a movie because they're talking about you like you're this villain.
Yeah.
And they don't even know you, but they're like saying these things about you, and you're like, okay, well, hopefully I'll get my royalties from this that you're talking
People
about.
like that, like even when let's rewind to high school, you know, where you hear the rumors and stuff like that. Is I was always able to kneecap 99% of rumors that would happen about me. I don't care who you are, how popular. If you're one of the popular crowd or the jock or the nerd, the goth, the burnout, whatever, there's going to be some rumors about everybody at some point, no matter what.
Right.
And I would always kneecap it because I am a very sarcastic person, as y'all know. And half the time I could care less about somebody's feelings, especially if they were one that attacked me. At that point, it's all off. But I would just look at them and go, tell me more I don't know about myself, please.
Right?
And I'd pull out a notebook and go to write it down and go, please do this. And at that point, they just shut down and walk away.
Yeah.
So I've learned in the past is don't let somebody talk about you. Back yourself up.
Yeah.
Don't let somebody walk all over you, and use the ammo they think they have against you back against them. And it shuts them down every time. And I just walk away laughing. So, I mean, if that's one of the headaches you're dealing with, is somebody running their mouth, use that ammo they think they have, Uno reverse it.
I think the truth always comes out, though.
For sure.
In the end,
Oh, yeah.
I think. But I think with social media nowadays, I think everybody has this narrative of who you are or who somebody else is. And we're not in front of each other anymore. We don't get to talk to each other anymore. And so, you know, this stuff gets invented, and a lot of times it's whatever's in your imagination that gets invented by the other person.
Right.
It's not even anything the other person did, said, or has ever shown you that they are.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
It sucks because when you're reading through a screen, you really don't have like body language.
right.
Yeah.
So you,
Tone of voice.
you interpret their language or their tone exactly how you want, which I miss, you know.
Just like when you're reading an email too.
Right.
Yeah.
Body language is a language. Comment, give us some of your crazy headaches. We want to talk about your crazy headaches. So
Yeah.
give
Has
us
anybody
some-
ever invented something about you that you're looking at it and like, wow, I didn't know that about me.
Yeah.
I did not know that I did all that. I didn't know I was that kind of person. And I think when I was younger, that probably would have bothered me. Now I just look at it in amazement sometimes when people say something. And,
That was me when I was 19 looking at the charges.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Hey, that's
I
not
did this?
me.
Come on.
I didn't do that.
What Dr. Seuss wannabe wrote this article? What
There's
is
at
it?
least 3 of these that I didn't do.
But that brings me to thinking another way that I've grown as I've aged is I do try to reflect on the mistakes that I've made. And if somebody is saying something about me, sometimes I will look at that and say, why did they get that? What have I done? What perception have I put out there that has made them think that? You know, sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's just in their head. But then sometimes it may have been a comment that I made, or, you know, something that I did that was misconstrued. You know, so, but I always try to, you know, look at myself and ways that I can improve myself and try to be more self-aware. Being self-aware is one of the most difficult things, because a lot of people don't want to see their faults and see things that they do wrong. They just want to say that they're a great person. And I know myself to be a great person, but I know I have faults, and I know.
Well, and there's also like, there's times where in the moment you think you did nothing wrong, or
Sure.
But it's okay for you to afterwards sit back and when you think about it, go, huh. Yeah, I was
Maybe
wrong.
I should have done
Maybe
that
I should have done it
different.
this way or that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you still recognize your mistakes and you learn from it, and you
Yeah.
telling yourself what you do next if that situation happens again. But then you get some people who are dead set on, I was not wrong, even though everybody around them, even their closest friends, are like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you say that? Why'd you do it? But they're just dead set. So I'm okay with a person who afterwards goes, ooh, maybe that was a bad decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Everyone deserves our love, right? But I think what I'm kind of gaining here is not everyone deserves our access,
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could kind of love someone from a distance. Like I got a brother who's a headache,
Yeah.
and I know that when he comes around, there's probably going to be some family drama or something's going to happen. I love him.
Yeah.
But I also love that he's in Tampa, Florida. You know what I mean? So
That's not that far away.
it's 3 hours.
I'm thinking he's in New Jersey or somewhere.
But
Yeah.
it's like these people who just make up these things about you or me or anyone who you still want to like show some type of empathy for them or love for them. We don't know what they dealt with on that side to be the person who they are today, or what in their brain caused them to always have to get their point across or to get their side of the story through. And it'll affect us lots of times.
And that's the worst part about social media. I mean, you get the jury of public opinion when they've only got one side of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even know what the other part is. They take that one side as fact and then don't even want to listen to the other side. But then when the other side comes out, all of a sudden they're back in the bushes. You know that meme of Homer Simpson backing up into the bushes? That's what they do, because they're like, I just ran my mouth and now I've been proved wrong, and they're backing out. It's like, well, where are you now?
Yeah.
You were so quick and easy to throw stones at me and shame me.
Yeah.
But you didn't even know the other side of the story. Now the other side's coming out.
You don't seek to understand. I think the point that you were getting at, Michael, you need to sometimes seek to understand how somebody does or says the things that they say. I know when Paul's in the car, he's an aggressive driver. But, if somebody cuts him off, then he's all mad and stuff. And I said, well, sometimes I always look at the situation. I was like, you don't know, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe somebody just, made them have the worst day ever, or maybe they're trying to get to their house, or maybe they're having a fight with their spouse, or maybe their child is in the hospital. You just don't ever know how people are. And if you react to those people, then that's when you cause a problem. And sometimes you just ignore. Sometimes ignoring is just the best thing, and then maybe saying a prayer about it.
Well, and I've also learned too, like I'll get like that driving too. You get some of these idiots, but I have learned from the past, like it's easier to pull yourself away, like slow down a little bit, let them get ahead, because especially when it's a person where their car is clapped out, because clearly they don't care.
Yeah.
So they're not going to care if they dent your vehicle or mess their vehicle up, because it's already. So I look for kind of red flags like that too. Like, this might not want to be the one to mess with, because he's got a $500 beater and he will go down with it, no problem. So I've learned to I'll back out of this and just let them drive off. And the best part is when you get 3 miles down the road and you see them pulled over. Karma.
There you go.
It's a beautiful thing.
We just never know what other people are going through.
Right.
I know when I'm having a bad day, sometimes I'll come to work with a smile on my face and you won't know anything that's going on with me. And then sometimes I'm very transparent. You can see something's going on.
That's why it's kind of nice that we each have our own office now, because when I see that face, I can just run and hide in here. Before, we were all in the same office, so I could maybe put up a piece of paper and be like, oh, okay, she's mad. Now I can run and hide. So I got to get a lock on that door now.
That was me moving. Like, with my son's school being 45 minutes away now, I'm trying to move. I'm trying to be dad and mom in the house. I'm trying to be the mover. I'm trying to be his encouragement,
Wearing 13 different hats.
Right. And I'm sitting here hoping he doesn't notice my frustrations or my worries, because I don't want to cast that upon him.
Yeah.
No.
And And here we are. Like the whole office was dealing with it this week when we were moving here, right?
Yeah.
So Christian's moving every day at the same time. We're trying to like involve him in the builds and like we need these dumpsters
moving
or
dumpsters
come get a
around.
dumpster. Or,
I'm in the middle of
he's
lifting
probably
my
got
phone
like
ringing.
a cabinet in his hand. He's like, I can't bring a dumpster right
Yeah.
now. Or it's
Yeah,
coming,
unfortunately,
or-
we were so busy that everybody was in all different directions, and so Christian had to bear the burden of bringing most of the stuff over here.
Yeah.
He's a slacker most times, but
Most
this
of the
time he wasn't. So,
But I mean, with like everything going on, like me wearing so many hats. I mean, I have my hand involved with the roofing company, with the dumpster company, with the gutter company, with the production of Crazy Headaches podcast. Everything. I'm just kind of spread out wide, and then I'm in the middle of moving stuff, so I don't know the details of what's going on at every job. So you called and said, "Hey, Titusville's all set. Dumpster could get picked up." Cool, no problem. I can get it tomorrow morning. I can't get it now, which is no issue. But then I get there and I notice your ladder's there. Not thinking, I grab your ladder for you, throw it in my truck. I grab the dumpster.
being helpful.
Exactly.
being helpful.
I grab the dumpster and leave, and then all of a sudden, oh, that ladder needed to stay there for the inspector, and I'm like, oh.
Miscommunication on my part.
I'm like,
Yeah.
my bad. So I mean, that it's just little stuff like that kind of goes through the cracks when you're dealing with so many different things, because I'm dealing with all of this here in my professional life, but then there's stuff I'm dealing with at home in my personal life, and same with you. You're dealing with these crews during the day, which I was there, so I get it.
Crews and homeowners.
I was in your spot for a while. I understand dealing with way the crews can act and what a homeowner can say that'll just drive you insane and everything. And then you're dealing with stuff in your personal life, moving your home as well. And then Lisa, that's a whole nother. We do not have enough time in this episode to go what she's dealing with just between the businesses and, the grandbaby and just regular personal stuff. It's just little stuff like that slips through. But I think the good thing is we have such good teamwork at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We don't let those little hiccups completely implode the operation.
Right.
We at least have that enough camaraderie and respect for each other to where, like, I sent out a text where in my head, I thought I wasn't being an a-hole about it. But then Paul called me and he was like, hey, that sounded a little, and I was like, man, I read it over and over so many times, and that's why I apologized to you.
Yeah,
and then you were
right,
like, I didn't even realize it.
What are you
I'm like,
talking about?
okay, but
I've been called. I wasn't called anything, but when they say I've been called worse, So,
but I was like,
So we
Okay.
just try. Paul and I just want to have a level of respect, because we had somebody that we had worked here, and you know who I'm talking about, but we're not going to say any names, but that would just call everybody out on the group text all the time. And that's one thing that we don't like. We want to make sure that if somebody has a problem, or if there's like an issue, it may not even be a big issue, that you contact that person directly rather than put in the group text. The group text is more for, just information
Updates.
stuff, updates. Sometimes we do some little crazy, funny stuff,
every now and then I'll accidentally send something a little unhinged. Wrong one, because I mean to send it to another one, and then I'm like, oops.
But so we just want to, a level of respect and make sure that everybody communicates with everybody else, because, it can get really.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, they would constantly, like, for the little things, try and call people out. And finally, one day, I looked at you and Paul and said, can I do it? Can I do it? Let me do it. And y'all wouldn't let me do it. And I understand why you wouldn't let me do it, because we had to be the better people. But so badly, there were so many times where I would just send it to you and Paul.
Yeah.
Be like, can I say this? And you'd laugh, but you're like, absolutely not. I cannot be. So at least I tried to get permission before I did it.
Yeah.
Kind of saved my job a little bit, so I don't accidentally.
Have you moved this month? Have you moved this year? Let us know.
Yeah.
So moving has been hectic in my personal life and in the business.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not even done with it, because I know you're still moving stuff.
Yep. I'm
We're-
still
we're-
doing things little by little.
We're
I
still
want to say
straightening.
98%. We're
Yeah.
98% moved in here. I think the only thing left over at the old office is
The wood.
the wood and then the ladders.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, everything's pretty much moved, but that's not it for me. I mean, April 10th, I fly out to Texas to help my aunt and uncle move over here to Florida. And it's just...
And that's when we're doing the 5K for AVET project. So we probably need to mention that because we sponsored the military kids 5K that they're doing. AVET project, a wonderful organization.
When
They're a
is that?
nonprofit.
April 10th.
April 10th.
April 10th.
Yep.
You're
April
in
10th.
Florida. Sign up for the AVET 5K.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run it.
I'm not.
I'm gonna
Even if I
run
was
it.
here,
Come on, we're gonna get this
I
belly
would be there
moving.
to support it, but my fluffy butt is not running.
I ran the corporate 5K when Health First does the corporate
Yeah.
5K at the Melbourne International Airport.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Let me
cool.
look up. I'm going to
Having
look
the
up.
planes like leave the runway while you're running
that's
on
cool.
the near
Hang
the
on. I'm
runway.
going to look up here when it is exactly so that I'm
Come to
telling
the
everybody
5K,
right.
y'all. Come stop by our booth. Come say hi. Crazy Headaches podcast will be there, but
Yeah.
we'll
Got
be
You
there.
Covered
Crazy-
Roofing will be
Got You
there.
Covered
Crazy
Roofing.
Headaches podcast sponsored it as well as Got You Covered Roofing. So yeah, it's April 11th
April 11th.
from 8 to 11. April 11th from 8 to 11 at
Where
the
at?
Avenue in Vieira.
At the Avenues in Vieira.
Yep.
We all love the Avenues. They got Cold Stone, which means they have ice cream.
They have
They got
ice
crumble
cream
cookie.
Come on, crumble cookie.
Listen,
Don't worry about the salads that they have
and shopping.
at the
But
other
it's
spots.
Heroes for Military Kids 5K Kids Dash. AVET project.
they're great.
They're great.
organization.
We work with them a lot. We volunteer as much as we can, and we donate a lot of money to them. They truly care about the people that they work with, and that is all
So
they do.
selfless.
They dedicate their entire life to
Shout
this.
out.
And from the moment that I met them when we first came here, when we were volunteering at the military,
At Patrick Air Force Base.
no, the memorial on Merritt Island.
Oh,
We went there, we were cleaning up and we were putting pavers and stuff like that out there. And they were out there, and Erin, my friend, introduced me to them. And from that point, I was like, her passion for what she does and Garen's passion for what he does, they're just amazing people. They just care about the military,
and they're
they
so
care
nice.
about the
They're
families.
so bubbly and outgoing.
They
and
are
Shout out to the AVET project.
AVET
Thank you for
project.
all you do.
great. Everyone needs to support them. They're wonderful.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, every time it's some kind of event of theirs, you know, it's gonna be good. It's not. There's some places that put together these
Yeah.
events, and you show up and you're like, ooh, you probably could have had a better coordinator. But everything they
No,
do, I mean,
They're great.
they show up and they show out big time.
They did a cruise for veterans. They it happened to be during Hurricane Nicole, I think it was. It was it was supposed to be a 3-night cruise, and it ended up being a 2-night cruise. They had to shorten it because the hurricane came in. But we sponsored some rooms for the military, and we went along with this one. That was back in 2022 when the hurricane was? I think it was 2022.
Yeah,
It might have been
once it's
2023. But at any rate, they've done a couple of those cruises where they have somebody come in, help them with their mental health. They talk about different resources for the military. So they have a bunch of little things and events that they do on the cruise, and just let them enjoy some downtime with their family. It's wonderful. They're
Which, I mean,
wonderful.
that's what our vets need. I mean, everything they've gone through, like,
Yeah.
the least we can do is give them a vacation where they could relax and forget about the BS of everything.
Well, one thing I didn't realize until I came here. Now, my grandfather was a vet. My uncle was a veteran. My father-in-law was a veteran. But when we got here to Florida, I don't know why I was in the dark about it, but there are so many veterans in need and so many homeless veterans in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just want to do everything that we can to help them, because they serve and they, sacrifice their life and their family's life for us.
Yeah.
And so
I
we
mean,
want to help
everything
as
we
much as
get to
possible.
do, us sitting here right now,
Yeah.
like you guys watching or listening, like it's because of the sacrifices they're made that you're able to do that. Like,
Yeah.
even the people who whine and complain about war, and I get it. War's not fun. It's
No.
not good. But at the same time, even the people who have complained about that and complain about our military, they're able to do that because
of
those
the
guys
military.
have done what they've done. So it's a toss up. It really, but I don't care what your political beliefs are, whatever. You got to back up our vets. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's one thing I think everybody should agree on, that you have to back up all of our
Yes.
vets for what they have done, what they have sacrificed. There has been 18-year-old kids that went out and didn't get to see their 19th birthday.
Yep.
I mean, and then there's some guys that have been able to go through to retirement, but that's the risk that all of them took. Some will make it home, some don't. So we got to do whatever we can for those ones that made it home so that they don't become one of
Yep.
those 22 a day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's definitely, so support the AVEC project. Who's out there? There's
Come on out to see us that day, April 11th.
April 11th.
Run the
Come see
5K. Sign up for the 5K if you have a business that you want to promote.
They
reach
still
out.
need sponsors. They
sponsors.
still need
I think
money.
I want to try and get some Crazy Headaches podcast merch before then. I don't know how much we'll be able to get, but I want to try and get some. And I think whatever we do
Yeah.
sell that day, we'll give it to the AVET project.
That'd be cool.
Sounds great.
So
I'm sure they'll
even if
enjoy
it's something where we can get a bunch of the Crazy Headaches podcast, like the
The
wristbands,
bracelets that we have, like for Gotcha Covered Everything.
Yeah, even if
or
we
we
get
had.
a bunch like that, and just even if we sell them for $1 a piece, every cent that we get from those we'll
Yeah.
give to the AVET project. So
Let us know what you think about the new background. And
Yeah.
yeah,
We're going to add some stuff. Like, give us some ideas. What kind of stuff do we
she
need to
won't
add?
let
on
me
there?
hang my deer head up.
No.
So that's out.
If you have a podcast, send us photos in the comments.
we'd like to
Email
see-
us. Our email's on the
Yeah, it's Crazy Headaches Podcast 321 at gmail.com.
gmail.com. And he's the only one who knew that by heart.
Yeah.
So
Kind of. I got to
he's
double
here.
check that to make sure that was right. So either way, if
We'll
that's
have the
right
link.
one, if that's the right one, use that. If not, I will have the link down in the description. But I do believe
sure.
I did set it up for Crazy Headaches Podcast 321 at gmail.com.
We'll remind you every week up until April 11th on the podcast.
For sure.
Because we might be your reminder that you need to go sponsor it, have your business promoted.
They have a lot of other events too. If you don't have the money right now, or you it's too late, she has a lot of other events that
Then, even if you show up that day and say, hey, I want to help out.
Yeah.
I guarantee she'll find a place for you to
now
help
some
out.
of the things that she can't, like if it's on a military base, you have to sign up ahead of time.
Correct, yeah.
But if it's something like this, I bet you anything she'd be like, yes, come over here. She is the most bubbly person you could ever meet. She's just wonderful. So we absolutely love them. So
For sure.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
And that'll be fun. That'll be a fun event.
sure.
Watching all these kids running the 5K, see how far they
I'm
get.
gonna run.
You're gonna run.
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
I felt like I was running a 5K today
what's
with Addie.
How about I'll rock?
You're wrong.
Rock. Rock.
That's like my grandson. He was rocking like today when Paul got in the golf cart and he wanted to race Paul on the golf cart. So of course Paul was just inching and he was just like, I was afraid he was going to go forward because he leans when he runs. He's got that lean.
nosedive.
But he kept running and he'd look back and he said, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. It was so much fun. But I'd love to see him run that. I bet he'd have a blast.
I'd love to be there. I really would, because that's something that I believe in wholeheartedly. But like
Yeah.
I said, I'll be in Texas, driving back from Texas at that time. But definitely, I mean, if Michael's going to be there, Lisa's going to be there. I mean,
We'll be there.
we'll have people there.
Come run
Yeah.
or rock with us.
Rock
Yeah.
with us.
Come rock with
We just
us.
created a new word: run, walk, rock.
Rock with us, all right?
Rock with us.
Come get some merch if we have it by
Yeah,
then.
hopefully we'll have it by then.
It'll be cool. It'll
Yeah.
be cool to see you. It'll be cool to hear about your crazy headaches. Give us some ideas if you want to come on the podcast as a guest. It'd be good
We're
to
looking
meet
for
you,
guests,
learn your
for
story.
sure.
I think that'd be amazing.
We,
We'll
we
get
want
to-
more people. Well, I mean, everybody, I don't care what the profession is. I
Yeah.
can guarantee you have some headaches that you deal with no matter the profession. It could be anywhere from the gas station clerk all the way up to President of the United States.
Yeah.
Not getting on that subject. But
Yeah, my girl can't come because she'll show up and be like, "Well, Mike is my headache. So what do we do? Well, how do we go talk about him?"
Good point. Yeah. Sorry how my wife can't come on.
I tried to get Paul to show up today.
Yeah, we
He's
know
like,
that.
I do not want to. I was like, come on in. He's like, I'm not going to talk on the podcast. So
I mean, we might be able to convince him. Maybe we can put him in the chair in the corner where he's not on screen.
we need to have like a couples moment. Like, we could have like you and Lauren, and then we could have me and Paul and
And then Mike play referee.
Yeah.
talk about what a headache it is to be married sometimes. There's blessings in it, but sometimes
Yeah,
there's
that's
a headache.
whole week of. We're gonna have to do a podcast for a week.
Yeah,
A
straight.
long
about
podcast to talk
marriages
about
and-
We
marriages.
will probably
yeah.
be a record for the longest running podcast. Watch out, Joe Rogan. We're coming for you. That would, whew, I don't even thinking about that. My hands are starting to sweat. I can't.
Yeah, so we had to get a new recliner because we have a crazy headache where Paul has injured his shoulder, and we shall not talk about that. About why
Is that why you don't want to be
injured
on here,
his
Paul?
Shoulder.
You don't want to talk about why you injured yourself?
And why he didn't listen to his wife, and he wouldn't have had that happen. But now he's got to have surgery on his shoulder, so he's not going to be able to sleep in the bed. So we had to get him a recliner.
No,
I injured my shoulder playing softball. Invited him to come play softball on the team. I couldn't play because my shoulder was injured, and now his shoulder's injured
Yes.
on the same baseball team.
Yeah.
So needless to say, it's all his fault.
Except he tore just about every tendon in his shoulder. So it's kind of just basically hanging there. He can't lift it up.
So,
It's actually his right shoulder. So it's like the one that he uses the most. And the funny thing was when we're in the car and he's driving, one thing he always does is he reaches over and he rubs my neck
Yeah.
with his right hand when he's driving. And that was the one thing that I told him. I was like, no, you injured the arm. Now you cannot massage my neck anymore. He's like, that's the one thing that you're worried about. It's like, yes, you can't massage my neck when you're
You can
driving
get him one of
now.
those back scratchers so you can still hold down low and just.
that's funny. That's funny.
Yes, that's what I'm upset about. No, but he's a little worried about it. And
it's,
I'm worried about it too,
Heck
because
of a recovery time too.
it's 4 to 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
And
6
this
weeks
one,
in the cast probably if you get the surgery.
this surgery, the doctor was telling him that, so he snapped the tendon, it snapped back so far that they're not sure that they can stretch it. So when they do the surgery, they're telling him, we're doing the surgery to see if we can do the surgery. Now that's the scary thing because he's
exploring.
like, yeah, because they can't tell if they can do the surgery till they cut him open. And then once they cut him open, they're going to do the surgery, but they can't guarantee that the surgery
So there's
is
a
going to.
possibility they're going to cut him open basically for no reason. 'cause
And
they
he's
could
still
go,
going to
"Yeah."
have a 4 to 6 month recovery time after they cut him open. And there's a chance that he may not.
Dude, saying he'll be
It
in
may
a
not
sling
even be
for a
able to
while.
fix
He's
it.
going to look like that butler from Scary Movie. with
But
the
we're going
strong-
for a second opinion this week, so they could say something different. But this doctor was like, he needs a shoulder replacement, but he's too young for a shoulder replacement. And they usually don't do shoulder replacements until they're in late 50s, 60s, because it's, according to this doctor, it's a one and done. I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't researched it, but they said once you have a shoulder replacement, you can never have another shoulder replacement
Really?
surgery. So, and it usually only lasts about 15 years. So that's why they don't want to do it until you're like in your late 50s or 60s. So he said that it would be physical therapy either way. And the physical therapy will be to build the muscle up. So the muscle serves as the tendons
Right.
instead of the tendon. So he's a little nervous about having the surgery. He goes back and forth. I'm not having the surgery. I'm having the surgery. And then I, of course, go, you didn't listen to me the first time. You better not listen to me this time.
Hopefully, he
he's
learned his
going
lesson.
to have the surgery.
Wisdom is regarded as a woman in the Bible for a reason.
Not to say I'm not always right, but but when I know I'm right, I know I'm right. And when I'm like definite about it, like if I am willing to go down to battle for something, then that means most definitely 95% of the time I'm right. But
And I've seen her go to battle.
I am somebody that will admit when I'm wrong, and if I've done something wrong, I'll clearly admit that I'm wrong. But if I know that I'm right about something, man, I'll just like bear down. If I'm bearing down on something, you better start thinking about your choices at that point.
I mean, I've seen it before. Like when she's mad and she knows she's right, it's one of those just sit back, don't get in between it.
Yeah.
Just grab the popcorn and enjoy the show.
I heard a nice little monologue when you came in last week.
I was wrong about that. I was wrong about that. I reacted. So, see, there. I know I was wrong, but I was reacting.
She's human.
I was mad.
That was the parental advisory cover of a Def Jam record that day.
I was mad. I treat our employees and our crews very well. One thing that irritates me more than anything is when people whine or complain about stuff that they don't know. You know, it's like they don't know the truth. It's like they jump to conclusions about something without trying to understand or seeking to understand, especially when someone has proven to you time after time that they're going to treat you that way, and then they're like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That just kind of irritated me. And anyway, we won't go into details about it, but it was just I wasn't seeking to understand their side at the time.
Right.
So I just kind of exploded.
The teapot boiled over.
I was mad. But again, I'm fallible. I'm not perfect.
At least we know you're human, right?
I am.
She's a superwoman, a human superwoman. Yeah, let us know, man. We can't wait to see you April 11th.
Yeah, for sure.
We hope you like the new setup, and let's get some encouragement before we get out of here.
Oh, here we go, Michael's Minute, everybody.
We've missed it for 2 days in a row.
Without the video, it was easy to read off what I wrote. But now I don't know.
He's on the spot now.
He's going to have to read it instead, memorize it.
I'm going to have to start memorizing it, but I have pointers. But again, whatever you're dealing with, whether it's moving, whether it's, a crew that is just being ungrateful, or
somebody talking about
you, or moving out an office and being dumpster pandas and crazy podcast production and operations director at Got You Covered Roofing, or whether you're a single mom or a single dad out there and you feel like everything is just falling apart, because we do know that lots of times things feel like they're falling apart. Just know that you're not alone. You might be sitting here saying, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to hold this together. And maybe that might be the point. Maybe God is telling you, you can't do this. You can't hold this together. You got to get into the mindset where strength means handling everything without breaking. But real strength doesn't mean you handle everything without breaking. It means that you lean onto God's strength, even though you're being stretched thin, and you're still choosing to trust Him when you feel like you're breaking. Because in those moments when you're exhausted, tired, when you're making decisions after the kids go to sleep because you have to be mom or you have to be dad during the day, just know that God isn't absent in those times. He's right there in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of our chaos. He sees you trying to be both mom, dad, operations director, the owner of the business, and want everyone to be okay. He sees you. He hears your prayers, even though you barely have anything to say in those times. Say whatever you can. And that's what I want you to hold on to today. Being present is being powerful. Your kids see you as a flawless mom. Your kids see you as a flawless dad. They don't know what you're going through. They know that mom and dad keeps showing up, even though when things don't make sense. So just know that you're building patience, endurance, and faith in these times. One day you're going to look back and realize that you didn't break, even though you bent, you struggled, you questioned, but you did not break because God was carrying the weight with you. So that's what I have today. Keep going. Pray when it's short. Trust when it's hard. Rest when you can. And remember, God doesn't ask you to do it all alone. He's asked you to do it with him. And that's Michael's moment.
Michael's. And I'll do Lisa's minute. Just know that strength doesn't mean you have to be strong. Strength means that you can also see that you need other people and God to protect you and be around you. You don't have to do this all alone. And we've all been there. We've all been through a bunch of stuff. We're all going through some things right now. Christian's still dealing with the loss of his father, and dealing with some other things and issues in his life. We're dealing with some things. Paul and I are dealing with some things. Me, solely are dealing with some things that I haven't quite talked about yet, or have been talking about a little bit, but not directly. And we all have a weight on us at times, and sometimes we want to make sure that we take care of everyone, and you don't always have to be the one to take care of everyone. And just know that sometimes the strength is in the waiting, and the strength is in believing and having faith in other people around you, and having faith in God, or if you believe in something else, whatever it is that you believe in. But for me, it's God, and I have total faith that he can make miracles happen. And sometimes, even though I want to be the one in control, and although I want to be the one that takes care of everybody, and it's not necessarily that I want to, it's that I feel the burden that I'm supposed to take care of everybody. Sometimes I need to just say it. I'm not that person. I'm just the steward of what God wants me to do. And sometimes I just need to let go and know that everyone is taken care of. And it doesn't have to be just me. And that you don't have to be just the sole person. But sometimes it feels that way, and it feels heavy at times. But just know that everybody's going through something. So you're not the only one, and you're not alone. And reach out. There's resources, the Bible. There's other things.
No, kidding, joking.
For some people, whiskey. At lunch today, we saw a lot of people drinking where we were at, So.
I tell you what, I can't tell you the last time I drank.
Yeah, I've never seen you drink.
I don't really I've never been really a drinker at all. Like at parties and whatnot, I'd have a couple drinks here and there, but really, once I almost completely, now if you come into my house, you'll see I have a whole top shelf of different whiskeys and rum, but
yeah,
I like the bottles.
Yeah.
I'm just like a bottle collector more of anything, and my family does have that history of alcoholism, and I never wanted to go down that path.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely realized even the little bit that I did, stopping it almost completely, I feel completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole different feeling. Waking up after one of those nights is not fun. So, even that alone is better. But yeah, I never really, and please, if anybody ever has anything going on, we've all been kind of down some of those dark paths. Don't turn to drinking, turn to your best friend. Turn to your wife, your husband, whoever it is, turn to somebody, because it definitely does get better. I went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And if it was not for family and friends and stuff like that, and that's why since you've met me, you've never really saw me drink. Because I went down that rabbit, and that slope gets slippery quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. So Lena, if you're a person that isn't that religious, for example, like you guys are religious churchgoers, like me, I'm not that much, but I respect their beliefs and their opinions, and so I may not necessarily have that full on belief I'm still in that faith crisis. I got to figure it out for myself still, but at least I know for you people who want to completely write it off, that's your prerogative, but that doesn't mean you don't have anybody there. There's gonna be somebody there, whether it's your best friend, a spouse, whoever. Grab onto them and they will pull you out of stuff you never realized that you could get pulled out.
Yeah, there's resources, and if you ever need us to pray over you, you can message us, and Michael is the king of coming up with scripture. If you have something, you can find a scripture. You are
King Jesus.
I'm saying of coming up with scripture.
I'm pretty good at finding scripture.
He knows how to find the scripture. I've been done that. I've had as many things, so I can offer some words of encouragement for you. And Christian can offer you.
We're here, basically.
We're here. We don't want you to go through this alone. We don't want you to go through this alone. That's right.
Yeah, I'm basically here for the. I'm gonna say it a little unhinged sometimes. You guys don't even understand. And you can ask them because they work with me every day, and they understand how I am. Is when I'm here on the podcast, I edit myself. Hardcore.
Big time.
Hardcore. I mean, I have 2 favorite F words, and one of them's Friday, and you know the other one. So I don't even know how to explain it in a different way.
He does amazing. We're proud of him.
When we're here, and I try because I want this to be one of those podcasts where you can listen to it with your family.
Right.
You can listen to it in the car when you're on a road trip with your kids, and you don't have to worry about, Christian's coming on, we got to turn it down. I may occasionally, I think the last episode, I let a couple of little things slip, but I try and be as good as possible. And when I do catch those, I will make sure I at least bleep it out. I'm thinking about maybe setting up a Patreon to where we can upload other podcasts to it where I can be raw Christian, so everybody can get the. Do you want the rated TV MA version, or do you want the rated?
Here's the thing, though. Whether it's PG or whether it's R, one thing Christian is a very loyal, very good person, but he can be unhinged at times with his words.
Little out of pocket, little bit. And I think anybody, I can almost guarantee you, because I do know I have some friends and family members that are subscribed, that they can confirm how I can be. So you guys can even tell people in the comments, and yet Christian is being a very good boy, and I'm not setting us for failure.
We don't judge.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Yep.
You're gonna get raw Christian.
Yeah, I think, and if you guys want us to do that, set up a Patreon to where you can see more behind the scenes stuff. And because I did have some people message me, they wanted to kind of see the process of setting up the studio and everything like that. And if you guys would like us to,
we'll go live on the Facebook page or something one day.
That's what I was telling him. We need to do a live
before the scenes,
and have some questions. People are asking questions, and
maybe we should go live one day while we're doing the podcast, so that they could ask questions in real time.
Yeah,
because that'd be dope. Just start up something.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely set that up to where we can put it live on Facebook while we are recording, because then you really you see it raw before I go through and edit. But I really don't do much editing. There's a lot of podcasts where they do a lot of editing. They'll take a clip out, or there's that 10-second awkward silence. Luckily for us, we kind of flow pretty good to where we don't ever really have that awkward silence. But
we might get off topic a little bit.
That's for darn sure. See, just had to edit.
Rope them back in.
And Michael is very good at that, getting us back on topic. But I think people, every now and then maybe we will do that live stream one where people can kind of see it as we're going, and then you could obviously see the nicer cleaned up version on Spotify and YouTube. And I just want to expand this more to where we're kind of reaching out. Like
we want
do big events, huge events,
viewer engagement for sure.
Yeah, we need your help though. It doesn't take much just to hit that like button, share.
Share the crap.
Go onto
so that when we're
YouTube.
Live.
Go onto YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, all you hoodlums, I have a bone to pick with all of you. Especially we have, I think we're at 100 now on Facebook.
100
which
people.
There's some people that are like 100. No, 100's pretty good. But
For
why
just
is
a few weeks of
But why is it that you have no problem following us on Facebook, but our YouTube is still only at 11, and I think our Spotify is at 5. So,
Come on, people.
maybe
Come on. Let's go.
I have all the links in our profile on Facebook.
We're gonna have to do a contest or something, a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do a giveaway.
We'll do something. That's why I want to start doing. Like, I would like to go to these different, like how they have like the different art festivals, stuff like that. I want to go there, and we set up a tent for Crazy Headaches, and we put one of those spinning wheels and have different things that people could win.
Yeah.
And not crazy stuff, because we don't got much money. I have used a lot of my own money to get this stuff. Lisa has. We all have used not me, but I mean, so we don't have. It's not like we have a bunch of money to where we could be.
Michael
away.
pays with his looks.
Well, then we're in debt then if I'm paying my looks.
But I would like to do that to where we can get that more engagement with everybody, because this isn't just about our headaches we deal with in our professional parts of life. This is about your headaches as well, because we don't have the same situations as you may have at home or at work or anything like that. So I think I want to set something up to where we go to these different events, we set up the booth, people could come out and see us, they can spin the wheel, they can win stuff, but then maybe have a bigger prize to where if they can show us that they are subscribed to us on all of our pages, not just Facebook, that means YouTube and Spotify, thank you very much, then you can be entered in to win whatever said object is. So we can figure it out.
Give us some ideas, y'all.
Yep.
This has been Crazy Headaches Podcast.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Where we are. Oh my gosh, you see that?
High fives
we
across
made
the
it
board.
past
We can high
20
five
minutes.
now and they can see it. Oh, I almost fell.
We made it past 20 minutes without it shutting down.
Awesome.
And then we also made it past 40 minutes. This was a straight run through. I think we figured out the issues with the whole system.
Except for none of us wore makeup today.
I had a beard. I don't need makeup. But anywho, we're going to leave that here. We love y'all. Have a fantastic week.
God bless you.
And we'll see you next Monday.
This is for you. Bye, guys.